Hello everyone, my name is Whisner Quinlan and I am here to share with you some really cool techniques that you can do with the new Darkroom door collage stamp Arty pods and its corresponding stencil, the Arty Pods stencil. When I saw that they created this collection, I just thought it was so clever and I knew right away what I wanted to play with. So I'm going to show you how to make some fun collage papers, which I always have on hand. As you can see, I've been doing tons and tons. I like to have days where I just go through and do some fun collage papers, and then I have them later when I go to create something. I've got some really unique papers. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just the basic way to use this stamp, which I've already pre-stamped so I can save you the agony of me struggling with my stamps and ink pads. There's a lot of successes and failures. So I'm just going to take some Dina Wakley olive paint for this demo because it's light and it's going to help show this little fun stencil the best, I think. So I'm going to show you. So I'm just brushing it on lightly. I'm not putting a ton. I'm using a Ranger mini blending tool and foam and some Dina Wakley olive. It's just a beautiful kind of lemony green. And I'm going to line the stencil up over the stamped image. And I'm just going to kind of brush over it. What's kind of fun, obviously you could just do a nice solid coverage. But what's also fun is to just kind of go over it lightly, but then darken some spots and not others. So you're kind of giving it a little bit more texture. So you can see there a little bit more texture as opposed to just like a bold. It's just like two fun ways to play with it basic, like the basic way. But another fun technique, I'm just going to show you. It's so fun and it reminds me of something that they used to do a lot in the 1960s. It was like a kind of popular motif or trick that they did. So you line the stencil up again. I'm going to move my camera down just a little so you can see a little better. You line it up, and then what you're going to do is unalign it to the right. You could go to the left too, but for some reason I think it works better on the right. So you're going to move it to the right about 1/8 of an inch, so you have a nice little border there. Okay, and then you're going to do your stencil, and when you're done, the effect is so cool. It just looks so sleek, I think. Look at that. I just think that's so cool. And you really can't do that with a lot of stamps and stencils out there, but this one you can, and it's such a fun technique to play with. It's so satisfying. So I've done it in a whole bunch of colors here so you can see. It just comes out really, really cool. So I highly recommend trying it out. I even used it here on this paper doll. Another fun way to play with it is to, let me see if I don't have enough paint, so I'm going to add a little more, is to just kind of do the same thing, but create a little bit more interest with some lines. And then you can also do the same thing. So it's really kind of playing with pattern and manipulating it in different ways to get different looks. So I thought that was really cool. I also did that in the blue and the green. It's cool with some contrasting colors. Super, super fun. So I thought that was kind of cool too. And then my other favorite thing is just cutting these shapes out and just using them in unique ways as collage. So I started one earlier because the shapes themselves are just so interesting. So I kind of pre-started one. Oh, here's another one of the stripes. It just comes out so cool. I just love it so much. So in this one, I just did some circles on the background. And now I'm gonna add some shapes. So I put one layer down. I didn't wanna take too much of your time doing something super basic. And then I'm gonna come back and cut more of these shapes here and glue them down. And it just, I don't know, there's something about this shape in particular that I love. I think it could be flower petals, or I'll do something like that. Flower petals. It also reminds me of raindrops or teardrops. It even looks like shields, which is kind of cool. So I'm just kind of adding these and layering them on this piece, and then you'll have like a really cool collage paper. Plus, when you make it ahead of time and you spend the time to do something like this in creating layers and designs, when you go to do any kind of mixed media stuff, you've got that extra work into it, and it frees you up to focus on more of the composition of what you're working on. You don't have to spend too much time creating a ton of components from scratch. That can be a deterrent. And most of us are busy, so it's fun to have some of this done ahead of time, because then you can combine it at the end, and it's fairly exciting to have all these pieces together ready to go. And I do this with so many things. I have a little drawer, my little small collage drawer. And I just think that looks so fun, right? So cool. And I was even saying earlier, it could even be fun to, you know, doodle a flower. Oops, I'll fix that. Let's say I doodle a flower. This will be a messy flower since I'm pressed for time. And I can come in here and add just like a little pop of color. Right. And then I've got my little flower petals here. These could be flower petals, right? I mean, I'm telling you, I've had more fun playing with these little stencils in the last couple of weeks. I think I mentioned this in another video, but they came Super Bowl weekend. I'm not a sports fan, but we happened to have a big TV, so it was a big sports night, and everybody was coming over. I had no time. The package came, and I like snuck in here during the party to come play with this new release. It was just so fun. I couldn't help myself. So look at that. You can use these in so many ways. You got cool flower petals. So cute. You've got some cool patterns. You have the sliding it off to the side for a cool effect. You've got the stripey one, doing it old school. So great. So I hope you enjoyed this, and you will check out the Darkroom Door Arty Pods, and you can have some fun playing with them too. Thanks so much.